Welcome to Dice Controlled Dojo. I'm Phil, practicing daily and sharing tips so we can all do better at the craps table. Today we're going to talk about why there is no video on practicing. Today we're going to talk about my warm-ups, my throws, and how to fix the problems. So when I was starting to research back in the day about control throwing, I noticed there were tons of videos about different strategies for throwing and making money. I saw several videos on all these best practices. I saw tons of books out there, which some of them are good, some of them are not so good, and hopefully we can go over a lot of those books and save you some money. And hopefully you just need this at the end of the day to be able to be a better thrower. Now, with that being said, I'm going to tell you once again, I'm a student. I'm not an expert at this. I throw one way and I throw the same way all the time. Over the last 15 years, I've changed my grip. I've changed my throw. I've found that this throw is the best way that I can get through the casinos to make money. Now, I adapt and change it just a little bit, tweak it, because we should always be trying to get better, right? So when I first was doing it, I used to use this grip like this. And this was my throw. I had a 2-finger. I've moved to the 3-finger grip. It seems to give me more stability. I make sure that my throw is the same way each time when I'm throwing. And my whole goal is to make the muscle memory a part of the throw. So when I'm at the casino and it's crowd and the lights and everybody's there, I'm able to throw the same way each time. My brain and my muscles and everything work together to throw the dice the same way each time. Let's review that for a second. I honestly believe that if you can reduce your chances of the casino winning every time by doing, just think about this for a second. If you have a random person, doesn't matter where they are, and they take a dice and they do they spit on it, they maybe throw it, they do this, and they get a random throw. That's a random thrower. So the statistics to random throwing is you're going to throw a 7 6 times out of 36 throws. It's just statistics, right? So what we're going to do is take these statistics and change the odds a little bit. Because when you're talking about a random thrower, what kind of stuff happens when you throw, right? Your dice are set in all different types of ways, right? Your throw is hard or is it soft? It's hitting the back wall. It's bouncing all over the place. At the back wall, you have all these diamonds back here. You have people's chips all over here. So if we can reduce all of these things just a little bit, and we'll show you statistically how craps is the best in the entire casino for changing the odds, especially for a control thrower. So my goal is to really do well with this. Now, if anything you get out of this practice or anything you take out of here, if at least you come to a table and you at least set the dice the same way every single time, you at least practice throwing just a little bit the exact same way every single time, and you hit your landing zone, and you get those dice to sit nice and pretty like that every single time, are you physically thinking that I can't reduce the odds of throwing a long time by doing this method of practice? I believe in my heart that this works. Now, when we went to Atlantic City, as I said to yesterday's video, why I'm here, my buddies and I went to Atlantic City and we got killed. Now, Statistically, this is just going to improve your odds versus the casino. It's not a 100% win. You're not going to do this every single time. Statistically, you can't do it. But when we went to Atlantic City and we just screwed up every single time, it made me think I didn't feel like I helped my team out very much. I didn't practice enough. I wasn't ready to go, and I wanted to make sure I was. So that's why I'm doing these videos. I'm going to go over a complete guide from how I warm up my hands each and every day to how I throw, what my warm-up practice looks like, how I'm going to be able to see through my throws through that practice, what I did wrong through the videos, and what I can do the next day to improve it, to make sure that I'm throwing the same way each time. So if you look through my 90-day videos, you're going to see how to warm up, how to throw, and more importantly, how to fix your throw, whether you're at a casino or whether you're in practice. How can you recognize what you're doing and fix it? Once again, this is not for everybody. Not everybody is going to want to practice 90 days before going to Vegas. Not everybody's going to want to try and get a muscle memory like that. But hopefully through all of these tips that I share for the next 90 days, I am hoping that I can just train you to change just a little bit when you get that casino, so you reduce those odds just a little bit and make it maybe a little easier for you to make money. So when I threw 360 times the last 10 days, I'm going to tell you a statistic. Remember, you throw a 7 in a random thrower 6 times out of every 36. So all we have to do is reduce those odds, and we'll go over these statistics later, by a 0.2. If I can change that to 6.2, then I can throw better than the house makes money. I can make more money than the house, statistically. So for those last 360 throws, I'll show you on the sign right here that I threw 6.32. So I'm doing better than the house, but I don't want to be anywhere near 6. I want to be up in the 7s, 8s, 9s. I want to prove that I can throw for a long, long, long time, because the longer you throw, the more money we all make, right? That's the best strategy that we have right here. So I threw 360 times. I hit a 6.32. My goal is to try and get up into the 7s after I practice for 90 days. So when I go to Vegas, I have a very big edge over the house. And we'll go over all that, how I'm going to increase my number. That 6.32 that I threw is called an SRR, and that's a 7 to roll ratio. And we're going to go over how we come up with that, tools that we use to be able to get there, and how I'm going to every day deliberate practice so that I can make sure that I'm concentrating on throwing, getting my synapses in my brain to remember how that throw goes, and how I'm going to use my muscle memory to make sure that I make the most money possible when I get to Vegas. Now, is 90 days enough? Is it not enough? Could you do 30 days of this before you go to Vegas? 60 days? 90 days? It's up to you. I'm experimenting with 90, and hopefully the 90 days get me to be profitable, because I'm 90 days out to Vegas right now. So 89 actually. So we want to make sure we're making some money. So I'm going to go over my routine on a daily basis. And I wanted to share one story with you. I'm a marathoner. I'm not a good one. Just like I'm not a great craps thrower, I'm a student of it. But I know that there's 3 things in order to accomplish a marathon. That is practice, practice, practice. You can't not practice every day and try and get better and hope that you're going to finish a marathon. Well, it's the same thing with craps and going to Vegas. You can't expect to just show up there, and you might as well be a random thrower if you don't practice every day. You also, in marathoning, you need a coach. You need somebody to review what you're doing and how they can analyze it so you can get better, whether it's on hill running, or whether it's how to sprint, or how to build up your muscles so that you're able to run longer. You also need mentors in marathon. You can't run alone. I mean, you can, but it's greater to have it when you have buddies with you to do this. And I am lucky enough to have 3 great buddies that go with me to Vegas, mentor me on a weekly basis during videos on making sure we're throwing correctly and we're not off, and making sure that we have the most fun we can when we go to Vegas, because that's ideally what you're going to do. You want to have fun. So hope you join me. Tomorrow we're going to go over my practice routine on exactly what we do on a day-to-day basis. So, to summary, this is my complete guide. Hopefully those 90 days gives me everything that I can do to share with you on how I practice for Vegas. I went over my goals on what my goal is to try and get up to around 7 in my SRR. And also, I need your feedback. So if you see something that you want to see, I'll put it into my video. If it's something I'm not going to be discussing in the next 90 days, I'll do a short for you and throw it out there just so I can explain something in detail that I may have overlooked or glossed over during our videos. So tomorrow will be my practice routine, and I hope you join us tomorrow for another day on Dice Controlled Dojo.